Welcome to the Big Four Accounting Firms podcast, brought to you by big4accountingfirms.com and the Big Four Accounting Firms YouTube channel. Now, today I wanted to continue analyzing the PwC partner promotions that we talked about yesterday. And I know you might be saying, why are we talking about this? Why are we listening to this? I thought we already analyzed it, but I wanted to analyze a couple more things, and I wanted to look at it also from a more positive perspective, because there was a decrease in partners, but there's more to look at. I wanted to highlight a couple of things. An important thing to remember from what I spoke about yesterday about PwC promoting 200 partners is that they still promoted over 200 partners in the United States. That's a lot of people making hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that is pretty significant in these turbulent economic times. And I'm sure that PwC probably reduced the amount of money that those partners are going to earn. And by that, I mean their partner draws and how much they can earn. But it's still a big number. I was anticipating that PwC would promote way less people to partner this year, but they promoted a significant amount still. So what does this show? This shows that PwC might not consider the economy to be too terrible. If they are okay promoting this many people to partner, then they can't be afraid of how the economy will be in the future. They can't be that afraid of it. Otherwise, they wouldn't promote this many people to partner because they have to pay all these people. And another explanation could be that they just don't understand how bad the economy might get. It might just not have enough forecasting ability. And we've spoken about this on this podcast before about how the Big Four immediately started doing pay cuts and laying people off and how they should have more cash. And they don't have a lot of cash on hand. That's not the way they run it. They pay it out in bonuses. And they should have more cash on hand so that they can keep employees and pay their employees through tough economic times. Because to think that the economy only goes up in a straight line is foolish. Another thing that they could be doing is that PwC could also just be planning to lay off older partners or forcing older partners to retire early in case the economy does get worse. Additionally, most of the cuts for the Big Four, whether they're layoffs or partner promotions, is around 5 to 7%. What this points to is a global revenue decline of about 5 to 7% for all Big Four firms. And another thing that this means is that there'll probably be a decrease in hiring of new hires by about 5 to 7%. That means they'll hire less people, and it'll probably be in line with this 5 to 7% that we're seeing all over the place. And I know that the pay cuts were pretty significant in certain areas. There's 20 to 25%, but those were only supposed to be temporary, and we'll make sure to keep an eye on that to see how those go. But as you see, the Big Four are doing things all across the board to stem the economic tide. And another reason that PwC could be promoting all these partners is that partners have to pay in capital to join the firm. Promoting a large number of partners means that there's a capital infusion to the firm. This means there's cash coming in, which is important to the Big Four right now. There might be clients that are not paying their bills, clients that are just leaving the firm that aren't going to have services with the firm anymore. And having partners pay in capital is cash that the firm could use to pay expenses. But it also means that you get cheap partners. New partners are like new associates. They're cheap labor. You get hardworking employees for less money. New partners make less money than old partners, but they do more work. And they do more work because they're trying to prove themselves to senior partners and to still move up in the firm. Because they made partner doesn't mean they can't go up. They could still go up in leadership. They could still become the CEO and local leadership and other types of leadership positions. And this is extremely valuable to the Big Four, and probably why PwC feels safer promoting this many people to partner this year. And another reason that PwC might be promoting this many people to partner is because the way the partnership program works. Many of these people who become partner were selected for the partner process 2 or 3 years ago. They've been in this process the past few years and have fulfilled the obligations to become partner. And the firm feels like they have to honor this commitment. And I'm sure PwC and other firms are also worried about these people leaving the firm and joining another Big Four firm, and they are trying to prevent that. But we will also see how many partners make it in future years if the economy gets worse. We'll see if PwC promotes over 200 people next year. We'll just have to see how the economy turns out. I also wanted to wrap this up by providing some insights and what this means for you, who's probably a younger person in the Big Four accounting firms process. If you add value to the Big Four accounting firms, they will promote you and pay you. You have to add value, though, even during these tough economic times. This means you have to generate revenue, have to help clients out, you have to bring in revenue. But don't feel bad for the Big Four. Many people do this. Right now, during these economic times, like everybody's going to be talking about downturn in the economy, shortage on cash. Like, don't feel bad for them. These are huge entities and people that make millions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars. They will take full advantage of this down economy. They will cut pay. They will cut promotions. They will cut new hires. Don't feel bad for them. You need to look at your angle and what you're going to get out of it. You need to figure out how you're going to take advantage of a downturn in the economy and not be negative. Don't just be one of those people that's sitting in their cubicle or sitting at home, working from home and being negative. And am I going to keep my job? Am I going to get a promotion? Am I going to get a raise? I'm doing so much work. Is this pay worth it? You have to put that to the side, put some of your emotions to the side some of the time, and figure out what your angle is going to be. Because the Big Four is already doing that. Leadership is already doing that. They look at these things and they figure out how to take advantage. And if they don't know how to take advantage, they hire consultants that tell them what to do. And one way to do this, I'll provide an example, is get a promotion. The Big Four might be willing to promote you with a little raise. This means that they'll only give you a tiny raise with the promotion, which is fine. But many people don't like this. When you're in the Big Four, and you're looking towards your promotion year, you're looking towards that huge raise and the bonus that comes with it. So many people will say, I don't want to be promoted this year when it means nothing, when I won't get my huge paycheck. But you have to look at ways that you can benefit during this. If you get promoted, that means you are one step closer to partner. And maybe you can even negotiate an early promotion during this time period in exchange for less of a raise or less of a bonus. Because the Big Four don't really care about your title right now. They care more about how much they have to pay you. And sometimes HR has to pay you a certain amount based on your title, so that might be a problem. But they also might relax that standard during this time period, which means they might let people get promoted if they're willing to take less pay than what they would normally pay for like a manager or higher. And obviously don't do this if you aren't okay taking less money. But you can use that promotion later to get more pay at your firm by negotiating. Or you could just turn around and use your new title to get a better job at another accounting firm or an accounting department. For example, if you're a senior and you get promoted to manager, but you're not really making that much more money, fine. Use your manager title to get a better job, saying, my firm trusted me enough to be a manager. I was in a manager level doing all this stuff, and you'll get way more money in industry because you have this quote unquote experience and this title. And what I mean by like using your title to negotiate for additional salary within the Big Four firm you work for now is that when the economic times get better, then you can go to HR and saying, hey, I'm this level at the firm right now, but I feel like I'm underpaid. I have been doing X, Y, and Z at the firm, and I feel like I need a raise and a bonus. And why this is really easy at the Big Four is because if you do add value, then they will give you a raise. It's hard to negotiate, but there are ways that you can do it. And another way this might work is because let's say you get a promotion this year and HR people get laid off, or HR people leave the firm because they have too much anxiety and the job is too much and they're not getting paid enough. So what this means is there's going to be a new HR person, and this new HR person might not have the whole history of your promotion history and your raise history, or they might have it and it doesn't make sense. So the HR person might just approve a raise later on because it doesn't make sense why you're paid so little. So there's ways and angles to take advantage of this time period. The Big Four are looking at how they're taking advantage of this, so you need to be doing that too. You need to be doing this now and for the future. You need to prepare yourself for future downturns. So that's just some more analysis that I wanted to provide today that was on top of my head. I hope that helps. To get future advice, make sure to subscribe to this podcast and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for listening.